If you're as excited for New Comic Book Day as I am, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Comic Man Andy, coming at you from the Comic Man Andy Comic Cave and Comic Dojo. It's New Comic Book Day Wednesday. Buckle up, buckaroos. Take a seat. Let's talk about some books. Hit subscribe. Kick that notification bell. Turn on one of those other buttons that those other buttons do, dumb button things. And let's talk New Comic Book Day. Don't go anywhere. Once again, welcome back to New Comic Book Day, everybody. The weekly poll is up in the chat right now, so be sure to hit that poll. Let's find out what kind of numbers people are picking up. This week's a doozy. When I say buckle up, I mean buckle up, buckaroos. We are, this is definitely in the top 2, maybe top 3 New Comic Book Day hauls ever. And the stars have aligned. The universe has thrown up all over Comic Man Andy's desk and said, throwing up comic goodness and said, it is time. I've spent the better part of 3 years preventing this day from happening. And unfortunately, it's happened. Pretty much every series that I'm doing a completionist type collection on has aligned. I'm down to 3 now. They have all aligned and they've all dropped on the same day. So you can imagine today's pull list was a massive pull list, and I've committed to buying the books through my LCS, and I've timed things in a way to hopefully prevent this over the years. But because of Brzrkr's delays, and because of some other schedule changes, and Last Ronin's massive delays, yeah, the stars aligned and the planets stumbled around until they aligned, and then the universe said, Andy, here's 30 plus books to buy today. All right, I kind of semi prepared for this and squirreled away a little bit here, $5 there, $10 there over time to have this kind of rainy day emergency fund if this ever happened. And sure enough, it happened. We're gonna get into the books here in just a little bit, but let's welcome the tailgaters to the chat. Like I said, the weekly poll is up. Interested in hearing where you guys are at on the numbers of books that you're picking up this week, because this is one absolutely massive New Comic Book Day week. It's been huge. Zuni on first today, he says, that's because I can't tell time. Little fist bump action for Zuni on a Wednesday. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. The Paul Dunn Show. Paul, what is good, man? Thanks for being here. Hopefully you're resting up and getting ready for con season coming up. Come on, Mama's in the house. Where there's Zuni, there's Mama. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Yes, absolutely. JP Budget Collecting here to have a grand old time tonight, poking around at how many books Comic Man Andy picked up. What do you call someone pretending to be Swedish? Artificial sweetener? Oh my god. Oh, that one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. At least it wasn't artificial sweetener. Oh god, I already, yep. Monday's gonna Monday, and it's already into Wednesday, and so it begins. Mama says, absolutely. Hey JP, why can you never trust a set of stairs? Well, that would be because the stairs are always up to something. Oof. Yes, JP and Zuni and everybody saying hi. Who else we got here? Come on, Mama says, I'm really excited for the amateur autopsy club I just joined. God bless America. Tuesday is open mic night. God dang it. Open mic night. Oh, I gotta remember that one. Oh, don't go anywhere. We're getting up with the chat here. I gotta remember that one. Oh god, open mic night. That's ruined. Show's over. Here we go. We haven't even gotten in the books yet. Why did they release Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6 before 1, 2, and 3? In charge of release order. Oh, that one sneaks up on you pretty much. Double O, what is up, brother? Good to see you. I hate that I missed the last con or two over there to run into you, but I know I'm pretty sure we're going to run into each other at Motor City coming up soon. Motor City's like 2 weeks away. X11 Bravo Comics, what is up, brother? Good to see you. I actually, brother, the message system on IG is broken. There's no reason IG needs to send a message to every person that gets tagged and everything. I'm having a hard time keeping up with messages and messaging because they get lost in tags, a sea of tags and stuff like that. So, buddy, I'll get down and I'll dig deep and look for those messages. Paul Dunshow says con season coming up. Yeah, I was at PlanetCon with a bunch of guys. That's true. Coming up. I mean, it's just coming up for us. There were a couple that we weren't able to make it to, unfortunately, due to schedules. Mihu Shiban, what is up, man? Mark, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Hopefully, you're ready for a crazy new comic book day. Josh Oliver, hey, comic family, what is up, man? Good to see you as well. I apparently missed everyone at PlanetCon. So, JP, I'm sorry. I really appreciated JP's offer for some like a place to crash for PlanetCon, and it just kind of didn't work out. I wasn't able to do it. I have to have some other commitments coming up this week and next week that kind of keep me planted here, knocking things out with some scheduling. The Paul says, "Where are you?" The dojo? Panda Nick, Average Will, Burke family, they were all there. Yeah, where were you? Yeah. I know. All right, let's get into some books, right? We're 6 minutes in. You guys are here to see New Comic Book Day. Let's get into some books. And we have a DC pickup. Not slouching. We got a DC pickup, but we are slouching on the fact that we didn't read it. Nice House on the Lake is out this week. 9? Help me out here. Issue 8. Book 8. Totally flying under the radar because of all the other massive releases coming out. Oh, good gravy. So let's get into the fact that Andy forgot some of his other stuff, but Nice House on the Lake has been a fun read. It's been creepy, but I think it's getting a little more thriller vibes going on. Either way, it's one of those ones where I wanted to read this right away today, but there were seriously 5 other issues that pulled my attention before I could even get to this. So this is next up on the reading list tonight. Nice House on the Lake, book 8. And if I remember correctly, 8, 9, 10, they're only going to like 10 or 11 or 12. Now, we've talked about the symbols and a little bit. The community's talked about the symbols. And if you count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only 10 symbols. 10 symbols representing maybe 10 issues. And that 8th symbol is highlighted to highlight book 8. I never really looked deep enough into that to find out whether or not those symbols had anything to do with the number of issues that were going to be in the series. I think Uncle Skeff had more information on that than I did. Either way, I really want to get into that and read that and see where that's going. And man, it's a good thriller. It's good, interesting. There's plenty of comments coming in that we're going to hit up. But hey, Mojo Quit is here. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. We're getting into the that's it for DC. Just one DC book. Why? Because Andy buys way too much Marvel and way too much indie to make room for DC. Supposed to be 12 issues, which is what I had remember hearing, but then I remember hearing that somebody was talking about the number of symbols having to do with the number of issues. I could be having issues with remembering how that goes. I thought it was nice. I thought Nice House was 12. Yeah, so it's totally me mixing up messages, but I thought the symbols had something to do with the number of issues. Maybe they skipped a couple of issues before they started doing the symbols. I don't know. Either way, not something I'd think too deeply about or spend too much time thinking. If there's an answer at some point somewhere, we'll talk about it. We'll figure it out. Could be 2 wrap-up issues explaining things. That's also true. Could be just 10 main core issues to the read, and then the 2 wrap-up issues possible. So once again, everybody, the poll is up for this week in the live chat. Let's talk. How many books are you picking up this week? Because Andy is insane this week. The counterpoint, Andy, the stars align like we talked about. Moving right into Marvel, and of course, Star Wars Crimson Reign number 4 is out this week, and we're going to kind of pick up the speed, right? Because there's a lot of books to cover. Cover A was decent, or not cover A was decent. The read itself, I enjoyed. I feel like I'm learning and connecting a little bit more with the Knights of Ren. And Vader's definitely in the control of the situation now after that. Decent read. Not something that I would like blow my or phrasing. Not something that I would like go screaming home to mom and dad about being the best book I've ever read. But a decent Star Wars read. Here's the funny thing about Star Wars this week. almost all the variants were cover price. There was a Kirkham in here too. Tyler Kirkham, cover price. Is that the Kirkham? I think so. But every I can't see if the signature's on there. I believe that's the Kirkham variant. Cover price. Variant. Cover price. This is an anomaly for Star Wars releases. Cover price. Now, maybe it's because it wasn't a major issue with a bunch of first appearances or something crazy going on. Cover price. But as a completionist collector, if there's variants to be had at cover price, cover price. Gotta love the Razak connecting variants. I can't wait to see this all put together. Maybe I can get a set slabbed and hang it up on the wall. But as you can guess, the theme continues. Cover price. When have we seen a Star Wars issue release with more than 80 to 85% of the books being cover price variants? Like actually cover price. And then the 1 in 25, probably one of my least favorite covers out of the whole run, was actually the variant that they were charging above cover price for. I get it, but when was the last time we'd seen that many variants for a Star Wars release and they were all cover price? I don't know. Maybe in the High Republic? I don't know. A lot of the High Republic stuff had ratio stuff that they were charging ratio prices and above for. But either way, my soul was a little happy to see that, because as we're about to turn down to the lane named Soul Crushing Lane here in comic book collecting, because cover price variants from Star Wars, I had never seen that many cover price variants for Star Wars. And then the 1 in 25, of course, running sub ratio. I picked that up for sub ratio. I don't know what's going for on eBay, but I think those card variants don't pull a ton after the fact. I just am not super spun up on that. We're pretty much basically grabbing, buying, reading, cataloging, and putting things away at this point. I need to make more time to keep up with what the secondary market's doing to find out what's going on and look for those low points to buy those variants at the low points. Zuni with a little $5 fist bump action for Mission 22. Don't forget, mission for 2022 is to support Mission 22, where every super chat, every super sticker, all the ad revenue is being donated to Mission 22. And as soon as the funds are settled and released for last Friday's Whatnot auction, there is a large chunk going to Mission 22. I can't wait. I got to snap a picture of that when that happens. That cover that Steve Messenger art did went for $151. That live sketch cover they did was fantastic. So Steve Messenger, if he pops in here tonight, guys, congratulate him on an epic cover. Follow him. Check out that cover. The new owner is over the moon to get that book, and I can't wait for them to see that. Well, they've seen it, but I mean, get it in person, and hopefully they post it on IG and share that with everybody. So yes, the mission for 2022 is support Mission 22. Like we said, that we're beyond the first quarter of the year, so we hadn't made time yet to do the work to see if we can actually withdraw from that AdSense account. Like there's not much, but everything that's there that helps, and we'll make that donation happen when we can make that withdraw. JLS Comics, how is everybody this evening? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Absolutely. I was worried for a second, then I thought I missed Nice House on the Lake, but I picked up the B cover last week. So Nice House on the Lake. Okay, so last week we took last week off because I think there were just 2 books in our poll, and I was kind of like, it's time to take a little Wednesday off and breathe and get caught up on some other stuff. So maybe Nice House on the Lake was last week. So last week's polls are mixed into here. There was like 2 books, maybe 3 books. When have you ever seen Andy actually have 2 or 3 books on a poll list? So we're still in Marvel. We're through the Star Wars stuff, and a book that I'm excited to read, but I'm a little miffed at why they charged $8.99 for Thor 24/750. Why was this a $9 book? It is a thick, almost double issue. If it's not a double issue, I'd be shocked. It's going to be one hell of a read. I flipped through it, realized I wasn't going to have the time tonight to read it. But why is Marvel making this a $9 issue? More to come on that price point, that price tag. Either way, it's there. Thor's probably going to be one of those things that I drop at some point soon. I mean, Donnie, there's only so much Donnie Cates that I can keep up with at the moment. So we're still in Marvel. Silk 4 is out. This hits the reading pile because, like I said, there was a lot to read this week. This issue and this series has been fun. I'm pretty curious to see where this issue takes her, obviously, because of the cover. There's a Ji-Hung Lee variant that looks really, really cool. It's kind of reminiscent to the first appearance when Cindy Moon becomes Silk. That issue of I forget the exact title. I've got a couple back there in storage, but that Ji-Hung Lee cover is kind of reminiscent of that. Was it the Campbell variant? I can't quite remember. Kind of reminiscent. Vermilion is a strange read. It's good though. Comic You Crazy. Welcome to the dojo tonight as we talk comic books and kind of get through there. Same format as always. We go through all the books. We welcome the chat. We go through all the books. We go through announcements. We hit up the chat again. Then we go through the books one more time if time allows for any late comers coming in late. Either way, I'm living in a gutter at the moment. But $9.99 is really ridiculous. I think it was $8.99. I did get 20% off as a club member at my LCS. But when have you seen? It's not. It can't be necessarily the first time. But JLS, everybody in the chat, when was the last time you saw a new comic book day book from Marvel, a cover A, hit the shelf for $9? I don't know, but why? I feel like there were a lot of people out there that kind of sighed and said no thank you to that price tag because there were a ton of copies of cover A on the LCS wall. Maybe they ordered heavy and they restocked it by the time I got there. Either way, $9. It was $8.99. $9 seems ridiculous. 20% off, sure, but still that's kind of man. All right, we'll hit up this chatting. Yes, there it is, 00, the ASM4 Ramos variant. So the Ji-Hung Lee variant to Silk number 4 is kind of reminiscent. The not perspective. Yeah, the perspective is a little bit different. The ratio is a little bit different, but it kind of reminded me of that. And I got some of the same kind of vibes. It's not an homage. It's not a copycat or anything like that, but I got those same kind of vibes. And how many people are ordering Silk and picking up Silk number 4 and how many people are getting that variant? I don't know. I don't know how many are printed, but we're going to Sleepy Reader 666. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. J Hood, thanks for being here. We'll hit up this chat here again in a minute. You're right. ASM 900 also $8.99, not $9.99. Okay, so ASM 900 did it too. So it doesn't happen often, but when Marvel books are selling for $3.99 or $4.99, they're essentially doubling the price for. Is it really? Are we as readers really getting double the read, double the value for double the price? I don't know. Because you're certainly not getting double the paper quality. Marvel. Speaking of it, Silver Surfer Rebirth number 4 is out and hits the reading pile. Like I said, the gas pedal is going down. We're going to be moving a little bit quicker because there's a lot of ground to cover here. Bruce and Stephanie Comics, what is up? A little bit of new comic book day royalty in the house with Bruce and Stephanie. Alien 11. Why am I still buying Alien? Because the guys on the Tuesday show on Supplements Comics at the post-show talk have told me that the second story arc does get better. I'm a big Alien movie fan. I'm a big Alien franchise fan. I wanted this run to be really good. I felt like the first story arc was not good at all. And they pulled me back in for the second story arc, telling me it was better. So that's hitting the reading pile. I mean, yeah, but seriously, Marvel, $3.99, then a 20% discount. That's a lot less crap sandwich to bite off and chew, so to speak, when compared to a $9 book. $9 book. We're going to clear the board because the board's about to clear us. And you guys, if you guys aren't laughing yet, you will be laughing here shortly. Oh, good gravy. So we are on to indies. That was the end of Marvel. We're on to indies. And I can't be the only one that's kind of frustrated with The Last Ronin only finally coming out now with the final issue. I didn't even bother reading it. They are so woefully behind. I wanted one though because I want to read it here soon. But they were so woefully behind on reading or releasing this that I got to reread the other issues. I'm not even going to try to go in and absorb that issue as long as that delay has been. And my understanding, well, not my understanding, basically kind of the talk with a lot of friends and social media was The delays were mainly done so that they were given time or ample amounts of time to create variants. Not necessarily IDW, but like store variants and things of that nature, and artists to get that stuff done. That's maybe it's part of it. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there in the chat here tonight has some factual information. Andy and reducing the pull list are not compatible. Baloney, sir. There was only 2 books last week, but because they put them all on this week. Either way, seriously, something is killing the children is going to go down to cover A. Is more than likely going to go down to cover A. I wanted to read today's issue before I made that decision, but we're going to talk about that here in a minute, because probably the most important book, in my opinion, this week, as far as reading, was definitely Saga. What are we, 56, 57, 58? What am I thinking? Saga issue 58. And the first thing that comes to my mind is like a TikTok or a meme that you see going around and says, "Why is it so spicy?" Good issue. Not mind blowing, but a page turner with excellent pacing. And I can't spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. You're gonna turn a page at some point, and you're gonna be like, "Ooh, damn." That's how I felt. If you're a Saga fan like I am, or I turned the page and I was like, like, oh, here we go. Buckle up. Cause it's ooh, I'm really excited. I know that Brian K. Vaughan released an image or a tweet or an Instagram post, something about talking about checking out Fiona Staples' art this week. And the art is good, but I wasn't quite sure what he's getting at, what he was trying to drum up until you kind of get to that page. It still doesn't quite connect the way he said it. But the art is really good. There were a couple of adult images. We'll say that, so definitely don't read it in front of your kids. Either way, something is killing the children is up next. Shocking Saga was Andy's most important issue of the week. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Yeah. Something killing the issue. Yeah, something is killing the children. Issue 22 is out, and I want to know how you guys feel about this. For those of you that have read the book, please discuss this without spoiling anything. And those of you that are watching on the replay, please leave a comment down below. I want to know what you think here. I almost feel like this story arc is starting to become slightly carbon copied from the first story arc. I don't want to spoil it, but there are all too many similarities to the first story arc to this. Like, I get it. Moving right along, we got the die cut mask cover. I mean, I'm not even going to bother putting all these up. We got the bloody die cut mask cover. I think I'm ready to be done with being a completionist collector with something that's killing the children, because this issue 22 is touted as having several new appearances or new characters, several first appearances of characters. Whether or not they're going to be major characters or characters that aren't around for very long, I don't know. But when I open up a book that's 22 issues in, that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 covers from Boom, and not even counting like store exclusives or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure I got all of them. Pretty sure I got all of them. If I'm not, I'll look, or you guys can let me know. When you open up an issue that's kind of like this is like the second issue in the new story arc, and it starts to read and becomes very familiar, and you're like, wait a second. We're talking roles that are almost like pulled and redeposited. So I want to know what you guys feel like if you've read this book. I really want to know. And if you haven't read it yet and you do read it, please come back and comment down below. I really want to know what you guys think. It's really hard keeping up with the messages with Instagram, because Instagram sends a message out for every tag. So people's messages are getting lost really fast, and I feel really bad that I'm not able to keep up with the messages that are important, like the real messages, not that you got tagged with something. But seriously, it's one of those things where I wish IG wasn't doing that. So the quickest way to kind of interact when talking about a comic book now is going to be leave a comment down on YouTube, because I can go right to the comment section and that'll be forefront at the very top. I want to know what you guys think about this issue. I'm a little concerned that they're just kind of stretching this out, and I don't know if they have a plan now. If I'm sure they have something of a plan, but there's too many similarities to the very first volume, very first arc that kind of worries me. So, like we said, the die cut variant, and we'll go ahead and just throw these up because holy shit. That Spider-Man booth donating $22 to the Mission 22 of Mission 2022 that is supporting the Mission 22. Thank you, JP McFly, brother. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Can't wait to run into you at a convention coming up soon. Looking forward to that. Probably Baltimore, probably C2E2, some of the bigger ones that you guys go to. Look forward to hanging out again because we all know how fun C2E2 was last year. But holy moly, man, thank you for that super chat. We'll leave that up for a minute. And like we said, the bloody die cut variant. Now, I made a comment last night on Supplements Comics News Weekly that I'm also a little bit concerned is when I open up my short box of, it's more than a short box now, of Something is Killing the Children collection, a lot of the books are pretty much looking like that top blonde hair, top eyes, and I'm like, you're floating through there, and it's like, do I got doubles on all of these? But technically, they're not doubles. So I kind of wish they would break through this format and stop using the same format that's kind of aging 2 years in. 2 years into a book, almost 2 years in. 22 issues, 22 months, almost 2 years. Besides a couple of breaks, we're over that 2-year mark that Something is Killing the Children has kind of wormed itself into our lives in comic book collecting, so to speak. But the cover that I absolutely fell in love with, but it was probably the most affordable ratio variant. One of the most affordable ratio variants this week was that Campbell cover. I'll do this thing justice. That Campbell cover is super good looking, super cool. This thing is super pristine, and I'm absolutely over the moon to have that one. That's a 1 in 25. I'm sure the book was heavily printed. I'm sure there's tons of them out there. I don't expect that to have a massive amount of secondary market value, but anything that comes back in 9.8 should do pretty well. You think that ratio variant 1 in 25. So if you're scoring a ratio variant for $25 at that point and you pay to have it graded, the cost of grading with a membership, like $21.60 was the last time I saw. No fast track, no nothing crazy. $21.60. So if you spend $25 on the book, you spend $21.60 to grade it. You throw in shipping to and from. By the time you're done, I think there will be a little bit of equity in that book over time if you're able to find them. Now, granted, it's heavily printed. It's 1 in 25. Shouldn't be too hard. More importantly, if it's sub 25, if you're finding them for $10, $15, $20, there you go. That's probably a really good buy. If you're Something is Killing the Children fan, if you're buying to flip, I'm at the opinion that wait for a lot of these ratio variants for a couple of weeks for that first push of FOMO to get through. Essentially, what I'm kind of doing on New Comic Book Day is part FOMO, but more importantly, my heart wants to support my LCS, and I've ordered the books first and foremost, so I'm willing to pick those up and not leave those there. But there's a slight touch of FOMO, when you see them in previews, and you want to order them. I don't even know what ratio variants are going to go for a lot of times. The market's so volatile. Remember when ratio variants used to be $10 or $15? Any like 1 in 50, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, something like that. But still, it's that kind of rule of thumb of a 1 in 25. If it's $25 or less, you're looking pretty good nowadays, depending on the title. Like if it's a title nobody's buying and nobody cares about, I would wait. I would wait. But without getting into a whole nother show for a whole nother topic, it's gorgeous. This is gorgeous. It's downright absolutely gorgeous. But it's the format that is, I'm like, they're all kind of looking the same, but the reds are gorgeous, the orange eyes are gorgeous, and I am absolute. This is gonna look amazing graded. The 1 in 50 for well below ratio. Very nice. That Frizzen. This is one that I should get signed. This is one that I should probably get signed and get graded. So gonna set that aside. And then next up, if you didn't know, now you know there is, and they call it an unlockable variant in MILCS. I do believe the unlockable variant is like a 1 per store. I could be wrong. If this is not a 1 per store, let me know. But I think it's just a 1 per store. It's a bloody version of the same one we just showed. So I do feel like there's a little bit of repetitiveness when it comes to this. And like, I mean, look at 1, 2, 3. It's all a lot of the same image. Throw on some blood, throw on a mask, and then throw on some blood. this is why I'm considering dropping Something Is Killing the Children to just cover A. Held out for as long as we did. This is probably the longest running series that we've been on all covers, all copies. But still, Frizen's art is fantastic, but I could have stayed at that 1 in 50 and been just happy right there. The 1 per store bloody variant, when you start utilizing almost the same image, or at least the same headshot and same frame, and then just make subtle changes, you're counterfeiting the artist's artwork and you're multiplying it. So there's going to be less demand, in my opinion. There were more people out there are going to be happy with just one of those and enjoy it, and not budget their way through buying all of them like I've done, like I've wanted to do. It's they're counter. What do we mean by counterfeited? Counterfeiting is a term used in card games too sometimes. Counterfeiting, if I remember correctly, is a blackjack term or something like that, or not blackjack. Yeah, maybe it was blackjack, where certain cards hit and it counterfeits, or it messes up your hand. It means you're not going to win. So if you're counterfeiting the artist's art by using the same image for 4 covers, it kind of becomes one of those things where it's like, wouldn't the one cover with the one image perform better over time when you're looking at books as an investment? Maybe. It's kind of hard to say. Speaking of performing well over time, here's the elephant in the room for the day, and then we'll get into the chat. Holy crap. Brzrkr number 8 is out, and this took so many breaks that I forgot all about it and just kind of, well, I hope it doesn't drop this week. To the point where it's not coming anytime soon. Then all of a sudden, wham! Here we are. Brzrkr number 8 hits, and we got to clear the board again. I wish I would have paid attention to release dates of things coming back. So we're down to 9, 10, 11, and 12. 4 issues left. I'm committed to finishing this out. And there's some changes that have helped, but there's also some things that did not change that were a little frustrating. So this issue is actually pretty good. There are some things that happen that kind of not really throw a curveball. I don't want to spoil it. It's a nice, decent, it's a quick read, right? Let's be honest, it's a quick read. But this kind of starts to dive a little more into that sci-fi realm or side or aspect, and makes me wonder how the next 4 issues are going to go. This wasn't just a fight fest. It wasn't just a gory fight fest. There was a little bit here and there. But that last couple of pages, I was like, I started tickling my sci-fi funny bone there. So, of course, we've got the standard complement of chrome covers for almost everything that's out this week. Then, arguably the most awkward-looking cover of the week, and it's not terrible. It's really, really good art. But an almost entirely nude Keanu Reeves on an Egyptian stone of some sort kind of was not what I was expecting out of this series at all. But I get the kind of Egyptian caveman-esque notes that this kind of provides, and it leads into that, not leads into, but it does kind of add another element to the story on the cover. So that's there, and there's definitely more to come. They definitely chromed that out as well, that foiled or chromed out. So there we go. But wait, there's more. So that's 4 issues. Then we roll into the ratio variants. The 1 in 25 virgin variant is pretty nice. I do like that. This screams, who's this artist? The Garbett variant. If I pronounce that wrong, I'm incorrect. This screams black marker with a remark and a signature across the top. Like, you're not adding a trade, but you got that whole trade area up top for the artist to do something. That would be really slick. I think that would be really cool. Then, still moving along, the 1 in 50 Heron variant. The 1 in 50 Heron variant is it's a little darker, a little bloodier. It's kind of in line with what we've seen with a lot of Brzrkr covers lately. So there being a 1 in 50, here's where I kind of like, wait, remember Brzrkr issue 7? There was like cover A in like 2 variants. That was it. Okay. That makes sense. As we get further into the series, the amount of variants are kind of toning down, right? Well, then they come back with 8, like it's the beginning of some story arc or some new major character reveal, and they just keep pumping out variants. The Virgin variant, I don't think that he would be a virgin, but this is certainly a variant. Oh God, why did I go there? 1 in 100 Campbell variant. So Campbell did the art on that, and so I was struggling to think until I got to this sticker. It's good artwork. I really do enjoy the artwork. It's just kind of weird to have a semi-nude Keanu Reeves on an Egyptian stone of some sort. It's and he's kind of staring right at you. It's like, is he gonna grab a pencil and kill me? Or is he gonna do something even dirtier? Either way, moving right along. So the 1 in 100, that is really cool. It's just kind of a little bit weird. But then they didn't stop there. There's the 1 in 5 or 1 in 150 virgin variant of this one as well. But wait. Why? Why? The book, I don't know if it's being ordered heavily. I will say that I don't feel like it's being bought heavily. I feel like there were a lot of copies of this book at my LCS, and I'm wondering if they're buying a lot of copies so that they can sell these ratio variants. I don't know if I'm the only one picking them up. And I hope my LCS doesn't get stuck with a ton of extra Brzrkr books because I want the ratio variants. I hope I'm not that driving force. I'm sure the owner would tell me if he wasn't going to buy them, and then he would be like, hey, go look on eBay or somewhere else later on. And that's what I would do. But there's only 4 issues left. I don't want to give up on that. If there, more than likely, there's going to be another volume of Brzrkr at some point or somewhere. Cover A only. Cover A only. I'm not doing a completionist collection on another volume of Brzrkr. No. Nope. Boom has taken up enough of our resources this year and even last year. It's kind of like I'm just going with cover A when new series come out. That variant burnout is getting to be real again. It kind of seems like I get stir crazy and cabin fever through the winter and start getting back into variants. And then come springtime, I'm like, I start getting variant burnout. Moving right along, though, that's the Brzrkr run, and that's a lot more covers and copies than I thought would be coming out for an issue 8. Don't forget, the poll is live right now. Vote on that poll. There's already 26 votes. That's awesome. And there are 18 people still here watching, hanging out. We've got a few more books, and Ghost Cage is one that I picked up on a suggestion issue 1 a month ago to check out from a good friend. And you know what? It was kind of quirky. It's a black and white interior. I am digging the artwork a lot. And the story is kind of like part anime, part samurai fighting. I mean, kind of like it's got a lot of bits and pieces from favorite fandoms that I really enjoyed to make this actually a really fun read. A little bit quirky, a little bit anime, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit samurai kind of, no kung fu really kind of issue, but it's been fun. It's only a 3-issue series, so it's like, why not grab this and check this out? And they're not quite double sized. This one was maybe like a 1.5. I wish I would count the pages when I looked at this. Either way, I enjoyed it. It's been fun. I can't wait to go back and sit down and reread that as an entire series instead of waiting month to month. Speaking of series that I'm always excited to read, The Walking Dead Deluxe. I can't remember if this was part of the last week's grabs or if this was out this week. Either way, every other week when this drops, I'm super happy to buy it. Unfortunately, this time around, it does hit the reading block or reading pile because there's just so much going on this week. And last but not least, Newburn number 6 is still on the poll list because it's a Chip Zdarsky read. We want to see where this goes. Either way, we're going to sit down and read these when we can get some time. So who's ready? Who's ready to hit up this chat, get some announcements, and I have an auction preview, guys, for this Friday. It's Indie Week on Whatnot. Shh. Indie Week is happening this week on Whatnot. And if you guys know me, you know I'm a massive indie collector. So there's tons of stuff that we can bring to that show coming up here soon. But yes, once again, JP, thank you for that $22 super chat for Mission 22. The covers are Boom's business plan. They sell, they make money. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get further back here before we start digging in too much. Yep, Andy and reducing the pull list are not compatible. It's happening. Slowly but surely, what we want to do is get down to nothing but cover A's. And then Star Wars is the only one we want to collect ratio variants and variant cover price variants and go that route. Because Star Wars is where we're having a lot more fun collecting and reading at the moment. And it seems like a lot of the books that we were buying heavy into as far as ratio variance and cover price variance, those series are a year, 2 years in, and we're getting to the point where we just want to read them more than we want to collect the books. So there's definitely going to be changes coming up. Today definitely had a lot more books than there were. $4.99, $5.99, $6.99. My total was my total today. Where is that? Today's total? Yeah. Top 2 totals for a new comic book day for me. I didn't think that was final issue yet. I thought Ronan had I remember seeing somewhere, maybe it was on one of the apps or one of the social media sites, that issue 5 was the final issue. I don't know. Take a grain of salt with that. If I am wrong, let me know, because I definitely want to change my outlook and get ready for the last one or the second to last one or whatever. Obi the Gray, what is up? Getting in late as usual. You're in perfect timing here. The $9 book will be $1 at my LCS free comic book day. There you go. Do you think Thor they'll sell for $1 at free comic book day? Interesting. Like Thor being a $9 book. Either way, shocking. Saga was Andy's most important. Yeah, it's just a good read. It just flows so well. I really enjoyed 21. I'll continue reading. Paul Dunn says, yes, sir. I like somebody's killing children, but I'm on the verge of trade waiting. Yeah. Yes. First issue of new arc read just like issue 1. That's kind of where I felt. And then issue 2 became very apparent when they start. There's for anybody, I don't want to spoil the read, but it just seems like they're pulling elements from the first story arc, and it's all too familiar. Only 8 covers occasional ratio and 1 per. Yep, Paul, that's what I'm getting back down to. It just seems like wintertime. I just go ham fist on other stuff. There's the collecting bug is a thing when you kind of get indoors all the time. Do you know why you can't own pandas? They're lethal killers, and panda eats shoots and leaves. A panda eats, shoots, and then leaves. Yeah, oh boy. Oh, we've got him. We've got him tonight. We've got the great Herminio Reyes Jr.'s in the house. What is up, buddy? Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Hope you are having a great week, man. Welcome back. Welcome back. The covers are Boom's business plan. Yes, they sell. They make money. At some point, though, I can't be the only one that's going to dial it back, and that means there will be a lot more dialing back unless you're getting a lot of new people hopping in, but a lot of new people hopping in would tend to go and collect the cover and ratio variants from the first story arc or the second story arc. Not, on 22, issue 22, it's not really a jumping in point and grabbing 6, 7, 8 different covers. Yes, Deuce, thank you, JP McFly, for that $22 super chat for the Mission 22. Herminio, I saw a license plate today that said Herman. I thought of you, big guy. That is awesome. When you say completionist, you don't mean all store variants, do you? Yeah, that I drew the line at store variants. I wanted to be a completionist collector of what I could order through my LCS without dipping into store variants, because store variants add an extensive cost to collecting a series or an issue. Think The Last Ronin. Think Something is Killing the Children. There have been a massive amount of store variants for that series throughout. Oh, think Walking Dead. Number 1. What are there? 75, 76, 77, 78 variants for issue 1? No. What I can order through my LCS is kind of what I want to do. So basically, when Boom does a release and does a 1 in 25, a 1 in 50, a 1 in 7, they don't do 1 in 75s really. You know what I mean? Kind of like those ratio tiers and variants. I got into these series at the so far ahead through previews that I was the first person to ask. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to be the first, then I don't really want any competition. So just send them all. So it kind of became one of those mindsets where I'm still first in line for something that's killing the children at my LCS. So if I'm giving up that position, there's going to be somebody else that's going to want to be back there buying those books. So I'm like, do I really want to give up that spot and then potentially miss out on some hard to find variants? At this point, I think I'm pretty comfortable to say that it's probably a good idea to just go and cut those ties at the moment, but not with the LCS, but at issue 22, yeah, you know what I mean. Punchline character coming. Oh, good gravy. MegaCon. JPG McFly is going to MegaCon. Good to see you there. Hopefully, if I don't know if I can make it to MegaCon. That's going to be, actually, I think I'm traveling somewhere else that weekend. Holy moly. You have 2 more Erica faces and the old dragon coming up, he says. Really? I don't know, man. I don't know. Sleepy Reader in the house, man. Good to see you again. Got my Transformers today. And what if Miles Morales' excellent shape and packaging was pristine as usual? Perfect. That is awesome. So everybody out there receiving Whatnot packages this week, please remember to leave feedback when the app post that up and ask for that response. But you can also dig in there and leave feedback even if they don't tell you to. And please leave honest feedback. We always shoot to try to keep that 5.0 rating. It slipped a little bit instead of 4.99, but that's why we're kind of like we're the micro brew of Whatnot, so to speak. You're coming for high quality, reusable packaging materials, high quality bags and boards, trying to do what we can to provide you guys the best experience possible. That's really what we're after, is not just slinging books. We're trying to sling an experience too. So like we said, Whatnot, there's a preview coming up, some Whatnot books coming up here in a minute. Warlord, what is up, man? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Brzrkr, still, I thought you were going to stop doing that to yourself. It's showing up at dollar bins already. It is not showing up at dollar bins where I'm at. I'll be honest with you. Where I'm at, the price that's stickered on them is still on them. They're just in separate bins from dollar bins. So if you guys are seeing them in dollar bins, more power to you. That's not something that's happening around here for us in my city. But you dropped Brzrkr, had to let it go. That's what a lot of people have said. Not even the cover B foil cover. I love foil as well. We had two. We had two foil covers. A was a foil. A had a standard and a foil, and B had a standard and a foil as well. And that Campbell B cover ended up being the Virgin 1 in 100 as well, if I remember correctly. Really like that first Ghost Cage. That first Ghost Cage was good. The second one is fun. Not quite as good as the first one, but they are going to 3 issues there. Jeff Schultz, what is up, man? One love from Chicago. Total today was $41 for him. So, yes, once again, that poll is up. We're at 28 votes. So, as you guys filter in, please hit that poll. Really kind of interested to see where a lot of people fall in those numbers. The legend, John Toledo, what is up, man? Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Hopefully, you're having a good evening. By the way, Daymares is awesome in person. I can't wait. C2E2 is in August, and it is going to be an epic party out there. I'm no Paul Dunn, though, he says. Oh, boy. What kind of underwear does a 98-year-old wear? God, it depends. All right, so a quick auction preview for Indie Week this Friday. We're digging deep. There's a ton of indie books. I'm not going to pile these up over here. I'm going to pile them up over there. And we are just going to dig in. I don't think I can let go of this one, but we're thinking about it. We're thinking about putting that up on Whatnot. Probably not. We've got some great Wind Virgin variant love going up as well. So, as we said, a quick auction preview. Department of Truth. There's going to be a lot of Department of Truth variants and a lot of Department of Truth love. Number 4, variant cover D, 9.6. And then here you go. The 1 in 100. The 1 in 100, Something is Killing the Children homage, and a 9.8 is going to be going up on Whatnot. Look at the asking prices for these on eBay right now, and those are really high. Here's your chance to get a really good deal this Friday on Whatnot. Please go bookmark that now. Go bookmark that now so you don't miss out. We're going to start, as soon as we're done with this show, I'm going to start taking pictures of the loan books now. Something is Killing the Children, number 6, that unlockable retailer edition, incentive edition, 9.8. That's going to go up. What else do we have? For those of you that love collecting indies but are looking for affordable graded indie books, a Walk Through Hell 9.8. That's going to go up. That should go for a good price. Middle West, one of my favorite indie reads, 9.8. That's going to go up. We've got the variant. Is this a Corona variant? It's called variant cover B. I can't remember. Yeah, George Corona is the artist on that right there. And that's going up in a 9.8. A super gorgeous minimal trade dress right there. That Scotty Young story and art was fantastic. Oblivion Song number 1, pink signature, 9.8 is going to go up as well. A standard Oblivion Song cover is going to go up as well. But wait, there's more coming up right now because we've got more Something is Killing the Children. Number 1, 9.4. That's that Frizzen Unlock Retailer Edition. Then we've got Firepower number 1. This is that gold logo. And I've got to look up the grader's notes. This is an 8.5 on this. I don't know that I wouldn't or couldn't try to crack and press this one, but we'll see. There's a Once in Future 15 9.8 Virgin variant. This is one of the more scarce variants. When we start getting into that issue of Once in Future, where people started dropping the book between issues like 8 and 12, and you get a lot of these ratio variants, and they're starting to get really scarce. So here's a 9.8 that's going to probably go up. More than likely, a lot of these are going to go up. Die issue 1 9.8 Hans, gotta love it. That's going to go up. It's one of my favorite reads over the last couple of years. Speaking of favorite reads of the last couple of years, Gideon Falls in a 9.8. This is absolutely fantastic. So lots of great potential and value going up on Whatnot this Friday. That's just a handful of slabs that I've grabbed. I don't even have time to show you guys the entire short box. A full run of Department of Truth. First printings, a bunch of variant covers are in there. Akira is in there. Akira issues 1 and 2 are in there. Lots of great reads in there. And we're going to try to bulk them in together like runs or reads for those collectors that want to read, but also kind of want to hold a set aside in case something does happen with option news. Either way. So there's a ton of potential going up this Friday on Whatnot. Please go bookmark that. And we're going to try to get everything posted in there and get a recording in and intro in done tonight here. So we're going to end pretty quickly here. Do you guys want to see another recap of the books? We're 51 minutes in. We're going to take a look at this poll right now. We've got 32% says they're picking up 1 to 5 copies this week. So this is kind of an even spread. I really thought that the bulk of people filling out the poll are going to be on the lower end. 1 to 5 copies, 32%. 5 to 10 copies, 32%. 10 to 15 copies, 14%. And then 15 plus copies, 21%. So interesting that it's kind of almost a good spread between everybody. It's like, I did not realize it was going to spread out like that. Holy moly. What kind of underwear does a 98-year-old? Yes, I had to bail for a few. Glad to see Andy's still going. We just did a Whatnot auction preview of all the slabs. There's probably 20 slabs here that we're going to be putting up, the most that we've had. And in a Whatnot auction, usually we do 5 or 6 or 7. I've got 20 slabs sitting here that I'm considering putting up on Whatnot for this Friday. How about if Brzrkr Volume 2 happens? Foils fetch? No, just A covers. Just A for Brzrkr Volume 2. All I'm going to do is just cover A. And at that point, I might have my patient pants on and just wait for a trade to hit too. I don't know. Depends on how hooked I am on the story. The reason why I go back every Wednesday to pick these books up is primarily for the story. And then if I'm in love with the story, like somebody's killing the children, now that kind of jury is out at the moment, then I'm picking up a lot of the variants. I'm going to drop a lot of the variants over time because, I mean, you saw how many books there were today. There was almost 30 books. That's a lot of time to rebag or bag and board, and then actually section them off or organize them into the boxes they need to be in. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. I will be excited to see Damers and Paul in the same room. That'll be a thing. That'll be a thing for C2E2 coming up soon in August. Motor City, like we said, is coming up in 2 weeks. The CEO of the Comic Dojo has been working on her Ahsoka cosplay. She's really excited for that. Speaking of which, we just this past Monday dropped that Ahsoka Tano premium format figure unboxing from Sideshow Collectibles. So check that out on Modern Comic Mondays. Kind of branching out there a little bit in some figures. But that is a ton of books. We're already almost at the hour mark. That poll was looking great. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We're going to end the poll now, and you guys are going to see those results popping up as we cut into the tail end of the show here. And we hit up the chat. We did a Whatnot announcement. The next couple announcements are, yes, Motor City's coming up. We're going to be out there. We're going to be there for the whole time. I'm really excited. We're not going to be staying super close. Little did we know, after all these years, the reasons why we weren't able to get a hotel on site there attached to the convention center is it because the convention itself rents out the hotel, and so does another convention that happens in the hotel on the same weekend. So there's 2 conventions there. I think there was like a quilters or a sewers convention in the convention hall of the hotel. So they're doubled up and they pretty much run out the whole hotel. So we weren't able to get I don't think anybody's been able to get rooms unless you're a guest or unless you're a performer or an artist or something of that nature. So we're staying not too far. Lots of good food around Detroit. We're really excited to hang out with some friends and have some good drinks. And for anybody going to Motor City, please hit me up and message me. We can create a group chat. Maybe everybody can go out for dinner or do a couple of drinks or something like that and just hang out. Let's put a face to the names that we see in a lot of the live chats and live feeds. Like I know last year I got to meet Peter Parker's Pants and a lot of other people, but let's make it a point to try to hang out. Sometimes conventions do after hours parties, and maybe that will be a thing that we do. Who knows? Either way, holy moly, that's a lot of books. I'm pretty beat. I bet you guys are too. Hopefully there's been lots of good energy flowing throughout the conversation tonight, and you guys are in a better place than when you got here, because that's kind of the goal, sharing good energy and good vibes and lifting people up and lifting ourselves up. You know, that's what comic books are about, is sitting down and taking care of yourself a little bit. You know what I mean? Self-care. Reading is a self-care kind of thing. Comic books, collecting. Either way, thank you everybody for new Comic Book Day Wednesday hangout and being a part of the chat and being a part of the poll. Like we said, that was almost an even spread. 32%, 32%, 21%, and then 14%. Wow. It's pretty interesting. So there you guys have it. Have a great, fantastic week. And you guys know this connective tissue that is comic books is fantastic, right? But the most fantastic thing all day, every day are each and every one of you and how you support everybody in the comic book community and hang out in the live chats and hang out on IG and posting and sharing collection information, or not information, but pictures and photos of everything going on. But you guys know how I'm going to do this, right? I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go piggies out. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side for the next one. But remember, the most important part, all day, every week, every month, every year, you are enough. Have a good week, everybody.
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.
Excuse me while I change.